Okay, it's not essential that you can see my ugly face. The most important thing is you see the guitar. Blayne Washington here. Hey, I want to show you a really cool picking pattern. I hope you can see this, but I do a lot of alternating bass fingerstyle, and a lot of it's in 2/4 and 4/4 time, which is pretty easy to do because when you're playing that, you're playing an alternating bass with your thumb like this. You're playing like a, well, here's a G chord, so you're playing your G note here and this D down here. So, and you know, so when you play alternating bass, you're always playing two notes. So there's an A minor, so now 3/4 time is a little harder because what you've got there is 3 beats in a measure instead of 4 or 2. So it's an odd number, and in 3/4, you know, the 3 means there's 3 beats to the measure, and the 4, it means they're quarter notes. So you're playing like this. So a lot of your polkas are written in that, and it works okay for some songs. Like, for example, let's see here. Okay, so that works there, but what about 6/8 time? 6/8 time would be, you have 6 beats to the measure instead of 3, but each beat only gets an 8th note. So let's say you're playing that same bass line. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 6/8 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you're playing that, you not only got to play your 1, 2, and 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, but then your 2, 4, and 6 on the off beats you play. So how do you do that? Well, I looked on YouTube and I saw all kinds of really stupid patterns that were kind of wimpy. Like here's one where you hit the root note of a C chord and you do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that doesn't sound good. You couldn't sing to that because it's got too much dead air. It's not a good bass line. I didn't like that. So what I did was I started goofing around with this, and I started with something that I said, okay, let's get a good bass line. Let's start with a good bass line. So in this C chord, I thought, okay, let's hit these first 3 strings where your root note here is the C, then you've got a E, and then a D. That's your major triad in this key of C. So listen to this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now you could almost sing to that, right? You could sing in the chilly hours and minutes of uncertainty. See how that kind of moves along? Okay. So that's the 3 beats. So I said, let's start with that. Let's just start with these first 3 strings and do. But what am I going to do on my 2, 4, and 6 beats? Well, I decided here's what I'll do. I'll do an ascending kind of a pattern where I do these first 3 strings. But then on the off beats, I'd hit these bottom 3 strings, my G, B, and E strings. So on the off beats, I'll hit. So I'm doing. And then. So what it's going to sound like is going to be like something like this. See that? Now, what is that? How does that sound when you speed it up? Okay, now listen to this speeded up. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. That's pretty good, isn't it? That moves along. That really moves right along. So, let's say you're going to try this with a different chord. Okay, if you got an A minor, same pattern. And then in a D. Hey, lo and behold, that actually works. Now what if you got a chord where the root note is like in a G, it's up here on this string? Well, I figured out what to do there is you hit the root note, you skip the second string, and then play the pattern just like you normally would. So, or an F, or an E, and just about any chord you can play. There's a B7, and you can even alternate your bass like this. All right, sounds pretty good so far, right? Now, I'll just play a couple of lines out of a song and tell me if you think this pattern works. I tried this last night at one of the place I played. Anyway, it goes like this. Oops. I knew a man, Bojangles, and he danced for you with worn out shoes, silver hair, ragged shirt, and baggy pants. The old soft shoe. He jumped so high, he jumped so high. Then he lightly touched down. So work on that. Tell me what you think of it.